So, performance management is relatively a new topic, not really an old one. It appeared, so the first documents that we have about performance management really came within the 1900 times, where we had very few details about some discussions that some employees were having with their managers. Nothing in written, nothing similar to what we have today. So once the revolutionary industry started to grow and we had more blue-collar type of roles, more discussion toward performance management started to appear. And people were having discussions at the end of the day or the working week, and usually very tough discussions back then, you can imagine, in the sector. Again, nothing similar to what we have today. Always, late in the 1950s, the personality test started to appear. So the first documents about performance management was really linked with personality tests. No business goals, it was just purely a discussion about how the personality of an employee would fit the current role that he or she has at that moment. Companies soon started to realize that that's not working. I mean, only personality, that's not the main factor that contributes to the success of an employee or to the success of a company. And they started introducing objectives and goals, which were very defined. They were working toward that direction, but not really empowering the people. They realized that they're setting really straight KPIs, but nobody's helping them to develop. And so in the 1970s, the US started to have the first court cases about performance management because employees started to feel really not appreciated, or the company is not being fair towards them. And it was the 1970s that initiated the revolution in performance management, and it started shifting towards what we see today, with having clear objectives, clear KPIs, a good development plan, some good development discussions with the employees at the end of the year or during the year, okay? So it's really, if you look at it, it's a process that didn't start very long time ago, and it evolved with the business. Today we all have it, we all use it in our companies. Many of us have started using holistic measures like ratings, for example, or having a ranking system within the company, and they started to appear around 1990, maybe towards early 2000. And I'm not going to talk about the advantages of having those, but I'm going to talk about the disadvantage of having those. And I know it sounds a little awkward coming from an HR person, but the reality is that, at least within HP, we were always looking of how we can innovate the field in which we are working, from the products to the services to the people. And we realized that although the performance management appraisal system with the whole rankings and having ratings and everything, it was very good in the moment that it appeared, okay? And that's why I was using the entire history to show that at the moment in which it was implemented, it was a very good idea. But looking back 5–10 years ago, we started to realize that that whole ranking system does not allow us to use the trend of innovation, does not really empower employees to speak up and share their ideas and be innovative and have the growth mindset that we were looking for. They were very focused on what's the year-end rating that they will receive. They were very focused on who's the best from the team, and sometimes they were competing between them to be the best from the team. And I know we're all well-seasoned HR professionals or business managers, and you all have teams, and at some point of your career you had to choose, you had a hard decision to take. I see some people nodding. You had a hard decision to take in regards to performance management and ratings, because sometimes it's very hard to differentiate employees between them. They all have maybe a very good year, a very good performance, and it's hard to rank them in a specific order. So we started looking at that, and we started looking at a relatively new concept. I don't know if you heard about it, and it's called the growth mindset. The best way I can explain the topic is by, we don't have like a definition of it, I can explain it by putting them into sides, the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. In a fixed mindset, people usually focus very much on proving themselves, okay? If we have a team of 10, 20 people, in a fixed mindset, the people will think, okay, I'm very good at a specific topic. I need to prove it to my manager. I need to prove it to the others. I'm the best in that topic. I will stay in the area where I'm currently working because I know I'm good at that. I will not move around because I'm scared a little of change. I don't know if I can develop. This is what I know to do, and this is what I will prove to my management that I know how to do. In a growth mindset, you don't really think about performing better than others. You think about performing better than your former self. It's more of a thinking like, well, I know how to do a specific topic. I'm already a master at that. Now I want to move in a certain different area so I can develop other skills, because I want to be a better version of myself, not really only proving that I'm better than others. And when we started to look at the growth mindset, we realized that it might have a very positive impact in the performance appraisals as well, because that was the innovation that we wanted. So the culture shift for performance that we implemented, and I'm going to talk a little also about the results, was moving from ratings and rankings to having a more holistic approach towards performance management. And again, I'm the type of person that usually explain best with examples, so I'm going to give you a very clear example. Instead of comparing employees from within the team between each other to realize whose ranking is where, who is number one, who is number two in terms of rewards, in terms of performance, we have started to ask the managers to compare the employees at different times in their careers. So when the fiscal year started and the business started to develop and build basically their business goals for that specific year, we realized that the manager needs to do the exact same thing with the employees. So now the discussion is more, so here you are today, these are your skills for today, you have an entire year coming, during which you will have to develop yourselves, to develop your skills. And at the end of the year, instead of comparing with your colleagues, we're actually comparing how much did the person evolve during last year? How much time he invested in developing his skills, in getting involved in new projects that will help him gain access to a whole new area. What happened within the team is that the people started to move from a competitive type of attitude to a collaborative type of attitude. So people are no longer constrained or thinking about, okay, the end year is coming, we're going to have our performance evaluation, I'm scared that my manager would choose somebody else either than me, thinking he is the best. Okay, I need to prove something to my manager, I need to prove it now, so I'm no longer thinking at my colleague, I don't care, do you want something? No, I'm not going to help you because I need to prove I'm the best. So they're not thinking like that anymore, but we switched towards a collaborative type of discussion where the employees talk between them and say, well, I'm very good at Excel, I'm not good at public speaking, can you help me with that? So at the end of the year, they're working together to develop their skills and develop themselves.